I was still holding my bouquet when my brother punched me in the face, in my wedding dress, in front of 120 guests. The music stopped mid-note. My mother screamed. Someone dropped a champagne glass. And my Marine pilot husband didn't throw a punch back. He adjusted his cufflinks, walked calmly to the microphone, and said one sentence that changed my family forever. If you've ever grown up in a family where chaos was normal and disrespect was excused, this story is going to hit home. Subscribe for more emotionally charged revenge stories where dignity wins and dysfunction finally gets exposed. Now let me tell you about the day my brother tried to humiliate me and how my husband ended a lifetime of silence in under 5 minutes. I'm 29 now. My brother Eric is 34. Growing up, Eric was the golden child. Loud, charismatic, athletic, and explosive. If he broke something, it was boys being boys. If I reacted, I was too sensitive. He shoved me into lockers in middle school. He mocked my weight in high school. He once told me at 16, "No one's ever going to marry you. You're exhausting." My parents laughed it off. That's just Eric. That phrase built my entire childhood. That's just Eric. By the time I left for college, I learned one survival skill. Stay small. Stay quiet. Don't provoke him. Then I met Daniel. Captain Daniel Hayes. Marine Corps aviator. Steady. Disciplined. Calm in a way that made chaos feel embarrassing. He didn't dominate rooms. He observed them. The first time he met my family, he noticed everything. The way Eric interrupted me. The way my mother redirected conversations back to Eric's achievements. The way I hesitated before speaking. On the drive home, Daniel said gently, "You don't have to shrink around me." I almost cried because I didn't realize I was shrinking. When Daniel proposed, Eric smirked. "A Marine pilot? So what, you married up?" The comment was coded in humor, but the message was clear. You don't deserve this. At the rehearsal dinner, Eric drank too much. Made jokes about how long this one will last. Daniel didn't react. He just watched, measured, patient. I mistook that patience for neutrality. I was wrong. The ceremony was beautiful. Outdoor garden venue. White roses. String quartet. When I walked down the aisle, Daniel looked at me like I was the only thing that mattered. For once in my life, I felt chosen. Not tolerated. Chosen. The ceremony went smoothly. Vows exchanged. Kiss. Applause. We moved into the reception hall. Dinner. Speeches. Laughter. Then came the open bar. And Eric. Eric grabbed the microphone during toasts. "Let's talk about my little sister," he slurred. My stomach tightened. Guests chuckled politely. He continued. "Growing up, she was always dramatic. Crying over everything. Honestly, I'm shocked she made it this far." Nervous laughter. My mother whispered, "Sit down, Eric." He ignored her. "And Daniel," he added, pointing, "good luck. She's a lot to handle." My cheeks burned. Daniel squeezed my hand. I stood up slowly. "Eric," I said, voice steady, "that's enough." He turned toward me, and then it happened. A flash of movement. A sudden crack. Pain exploded across my cheek. The room gasped. I stumbled backward, bouquet falling to the floor. He had punched me. Hard. In my wedding dress. There's a strange stillness after violence. Like the air gets sucked out of the room. My ears rang. My vision blurred. I tasted blood. Eric stood there, chest heaving. "You don't talk to me like that," he muttered. My father rushed forward. "What is wrong with you?" he shouted at me. At me. Because I had provoked him. That old script again. That's just Eric. I expected Daniel to lunge. To retaliate. Instead, he stepped between us. Not aggressively. Just firmly. He removed his suit jacket, placed it over my shoulders, and turned to Eric. Daniel didn't raise his voice. Didn't curse. Didn't shove. He looked at Eric like he was assessing a threat. Calm. Cold. Then he walked to the DJ booth. Took the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began evenly. I apologize for the interruption. The room was frozen. My wife has spent her life being told to tolerate disrespect in the name of family. My throat tightened. Today is the last day that happens. He gestured subtly toward Eric. I've served multiple deployments. I've seen men lose control under pressure. But this, he paused. This is not strength. This is cowardice. The word landed like a bomb. Eric scoffed. You think you're better than me? Daniel met his eyes. I think you're a liability. Silence. Heavy. Controlled. Then Daniel did something none of us expected. He nodded toward the venue manager. Please call the police. Gasps. My mother cried, Daniel, don't. But Daniel continued calmly. Assault doesn't become acceptable because it happens at a wedding. Police arrived within minutes. Eric tried to laugh it off. It was just a family thing. One officer looked at my cheek, already swelling. Ma'am, do you want to press charges? Every childhood memory flashed through my mind. Every excuse. Every dismissal. That's just Eric. My voice shook slightly. Yes. My father exploded. You're ruining this family. I turned to him. No, I said quietly. You did that years ago when you decided his violence was easier to manage than my feelings. Eric was escorted out, in handcuffs, in front of 120 guests. The same guests who had just witnessed him hit me. The same guests who had laughed at his jokes. No one laughed now. The reception didn't end. Daniel turned back to the microphone. We're going to continue celebrating, he said calmly, because today is about love, not dysfunction. And somehow people clapped. Not awkwardly, not nervously, but firmly. The rest of the night felt surreal, but something inside me had shifted permanently. For the first time, someone didn't excuse him. Someone didn't minimize it. Someone drew a line, and that someone stood beside me. Eric was charged with misdemeanor assault. My parents begged me to drop it. Think of his future. No one had ever said that about mine. I didn't drop it. He received mandatory anger management, probation, and a public record. But more importantly, the family narrative cracked. Relatives started sharing their own stories of Eric's temper, of being intimidated, of staying quiet. Daniel didn't save me. He simply refused to participate in the lie. And that refusal changed everything. Here's what I learned. Family loyalty doesn't mean tolerating abuse. Silence doesn't keep peace. It feeds dysfunction. For years, I believed keeping quiet made me mature. It didn't. It made me complicit in my own mistreatment. The most powerful thing that happened that night wasn't the arrest. It was the moment I said yes when asked if I wanted to press charges, because that was the moment I chose myself. If this story gave you chills, like and subscribe for more real-life revenge stories where courage breaks generational patterns. And tell me in the comments, if someone crossed a line like that in front of everyone, would you press charges? Or would you protect the peace? Sometimes protecting the peace protects the wrong person. And sometimes the most powerful revenge is simply refusing to stay silent ever again.